Paul, 2020 finished. We begin 2021 with a big game against Hungerford, who've been mightily impressive this season.
Yeah, very impressed. I think Danny's done a fantastic job there since he's gone, and I've watched his career in management quite closely, and he's done very well. He did well at Alresford and Winchester City. He then goes and wins the Vars with Thatcham. I think that's an excellent achievement, and he's certainly, watching Hungerford, I've watched them 2 or 3 times, and they're very organised. They've got a good way of playing, got good young players in there as well. So, yeah, we're expecting a good game. And listen, they're there on merit at the minute. Everyone's saying, they'll drop off, they'll do this. So just take it game by game, and that's what he'll be saying to his team. And that's even, with us. That's what you keep saying. Take it game at a time. But I watched them. I watched them play Bath the other day, and I thought they thoroughly deserved to win. Saw the Bath manager's comments afterwards. Jerry was, not disparaging, but I don't think he gave them enough credit. It was a super away performance. They hit them hard twice on the break. The first goal I thought was absolute quality, great first goal, and the second goal as well. So, they then did what they had to do, which was made sure that they defended their goal and kept it at 2-0. And I thought they were fairly comfortable in doing that. So yeah, very, very impressed with them, and as I said, as the management team as well, that they're well coached and well disciplined.
Some would say they've been the surprise package this season, but if you look at the way they play, they do look like an assured side.
Yeah, well, he's brought in 2 or 3 of the boys that won the FA Vars at Thatcham. There's no reason, because you play for Thatcham, that you can't play in the National South. What he's doing is giving young players a chance to play. And as we all know, if you do that and you trust them, often that they can be as good as anything else out there. So, they're a young side, but they got some good experience. Partridge, I know well, the left side centre half. In my Sutton days, I tried to sign him on loan. I remember from Reading, I think. Keith Emerson, again, a very fit PT instructor from the Army. Real good centre half for this level, I think. And then you've got James Rusby on the other side. We've known James for a couple of years as well. Monster long throw as well, which adds to the pot of what he brings. So no, overall, as I said, we know their team. I thought the front 2 were excellent on Tuesday. I thought Mandeep, the lad they've got from Yeovil, a real threat in behind. And as I said, Ryan Seeger was a quality player. We didn't see the best of Ryan. And that was for personal reasons and injury, but everyone knew he could play, and I knew he could play. So I'm delighted for Ryan, actually, that he's gone and got himself 11 goals, and he's showing everyone what a good goal scorer he is.
When you look at the 2 sides, there's a lot of youthful energy in there and a lot of experience as well. They match up quite similarly if you look at it from that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, we there was a definite change of philosophy from us in the summer. You look at Leon Chambers, only 19, Christian Rowe, 18. That's 2 midfield players in there. Young Moose we brought in, I think 23. Wrighty's 23. Josh Taylor's still only 24. So you look at the team and think, yeah, it's a nice mixture between youth and experience. But even our experienced ones, Robbo 28, Mags 27, Moose 30. So when you look at it overall, it's a good mix now, and not dissimilar to perhaps what Hungerford have got.
It's proof if you're good enough, you're old enough, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works both ways. Listen, like last year, you Dean Beckwith at 36s and 37s. Had no problem with them either. But we just wanted to go down a slightly different path. But you've still got to be good enough. Yeah. And I think that's what the Hungerford boys have shown so far this season. It's a long season. It's not easy to maintain the levels all the time, even from game to game. But what we have got here is a real energised team, real good couple of sessions. Because I was interested to see how we'd react after 10 days off. We were sort of flying at that point. We'd won 4 or 5 on the spin. We looked like we were getting into our run, if you like. So that's been taken away from us a little bit, but watching them out there today, it was really encouraging.
Obviously, we're recording this on New Year's Eve. It'd be rude not to talk about 2020. It's been such a strange year for everyone, us included, but there's of course been the lows, but there's also been a lot of high points, hasn't there, this year? Yeah,
it's been difficult. I think this season for me has probably been even more difficult. One minute you think you got the fans back, then it was not, and then we got them back for 2 games, and then it's not. And I think a lot of us have said it now. Football's not the same without atmosphere. It's not the same without supporters. And it's an interesting one. I looked at the Premier League last night. They're saying they're not going to pause, which is probably where we'll take our steer from. So it looks like we're going to keep going. And yet, you've got the Rochdale chief executive talking about taking a pause, maybe extending the season, so supporters, will be with us in May or June or July. I think the vaccine rollout they're talking about will be done by the end of March. certainly by the end of April. So we'll certainly have supporters back at some point this season. And do you have a pause now to give the supporters that extra 3 or 4 weeks? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. What I do know is you can't keep extending the season, because if you're not careful, the players won't have any rest to go into the next season. So none of us know the answers, if we're being honest. We hope, and that's all we can keep doing, is we hope we can continue. We hope the league continues, and that's how we got to keep going, as though we are playing Saturday, as though we are playing Tuesday. But as you know, I think the Welling game got called off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because unfortunately Welling come up with a case. So it's really weird. You don't even know when you're turning up to a game almost, or certainly up to the morning of the game, whether that game's going to go ahead, and it's getting used to all these different things.
How difficult is that? Because I feel like in our interviews we probably talk as much about COVID as we do about the football, and obviously you want to concentrate on Thursday matters, concentrate on winning matches, but always glaring somewhere is something to do with it.
Yeah, and what's happened is the North got it at the start of the season, and because it's human nature, we tended to get on and think there wasn't too many issues down this part of the country. The North, I think York only played 3 or 4 games in the first 2 or 3 months, and now it's obviously hit us with a vengeance. And if you look at where the school closures are, for example, I looked at it last night, and certainly Kent and the South East and London, you're going to struggle not to get COVID cases within playing squads. So it's a 10-day isolation period. In that context, that's probably 3 games. What you can't have is keep having the same club, keep having the same COVID problem. So we've done deep cleans here. You had 8 cleaners in here Tuesday for our return. Everyone's in their masks, everyone's separating distances, everyone's applying the rules, but it's almost like an invisible enemy. And one of our staff has got it quite bad at the minute, and everyone's desperately worried for him. And that has a big reflection on how you feel about everything at the moment. I've got 5 players and staff not available to me today because they're self-isolating because one of their parents has either got it or a family member's got it. So it is unusual times, and we know it's unusual for our supporters and all football fans really. I just feel for them, but hopefully, and it's coming soon, isn't it? It looks like this vaccine will come to the rescue at the end of March, early April, and then let's pray that we can get back to just normality.
Perhaps the biggest thing we've seen here is sat behind you is that 3G pitch which we installed in the summer and the autumn, and it's bared its labour, it's bared its fruits, and we saw over a couple of months the kids on the local schools coming down, the Sunday League teams, obviously reports of women now play on the surface. It's made an instant impact, hasn't it?
Yeah, again, we wouldn't have trained the last 2 days. When we came here, it was absolutely thick frost, and that on a grass pitch that wouldn't have been able to train on. We wouldn't have been able to go and hire another facility in these COVID times. So all these little things, we'd have been unable to train Tuesday or Wednesday because of the weather. Today we've been able to train no problem at all. And if that game was normal, a Boxing Day morning game, it would have been called off. And if it had been Boxing Day today, that would have stayed on. So you just watch the game. We played 11v11, and it was a great surface. In terms of we just can't wait to get more people down here when they're allowed to come. We still haven't got all that community passion that we've got to bring these kids down. We've not been able to do yet, but we are going to do it. And that pitch is a long term, it's a long term goal, and we're all really impressed with it.
There's a lot of things, isn't there? And the positive thing going into 2021 is that we've had time to kind of take stock and think of ideas, and that's all bubbling away, waiting for that moment to come where we can initiate it.
Yeah, listen, we had some fantastic news last week. We're able now to go ahead with the floodlights from the Stadium Improvement Grant. That's been much needed. I think the lights have needed improving, but certainly from a cost point of view, when they're on all the time, environmental perspective, we've got brand new LED lights coming, Philips, top of the range, League 1, League 2 standard. Again, in these uncertain financial times, to get the grant, and we worked so hard on it to get the grant. And then we've also be building a brand new hospitality suite, office buildings at the front to welcome people. So we've got £250,000 work that we're going to be doing over this next sort of 6 months. Certainly the floodlights first, and then the hospitality building and the office classrooms and everything else. So again, massively exciting times. On the football front, I think we've had a really good start again. Second round of the FA Cup, made over £100,000. last 32 of the trophy. Really interesting game, I think, against Altrincham coming up. And if we can get a win Saturday, then we're on 20 points from 10 games. And the old analogy of 2 points a game would win you most leagues. So, you know, if we can get the win Saturday, then I think we've had a pretty perfect, you know, opening 25% of the season. So, yeah, we're in a good place, I think.
What will be your wishes for 2021? I know obviously would it be on the football front, but what else as well away from the first team and around the club would you like to see over the next 12 months?
I think my main wish would be that everyone out there, you know, because we're a football club, so we I only want to revolve around football wishes really, but it would be that our supporters can come back in their numbers again, feel safe to come back and just enjoy supporting their football club again. And that's all supporters again, everywhere. For everyone probably to get through this next 2 months healthy. You know, as I said, it's really hit home to us with one of our staff so unwell. That everyone tries to stay healthy this next 8 weeks and, you know, come out of this hopefully in the summer, all of us, you know, mentally well. I think that's really important. I know it's mentally been a challenge for everyone, including me. So mentally, again, people just trying to stay strong, making sure that you ask for help if you need it. I think that's really important. Try and get some family base or friends base around you. You know, FaceTime people. You know, we can't see each other at the minute. Try and make sure you use the phone and FaceTime and whatever. So yeah, it's more just hoping that everyone comes out of this. And it's been a tough year, the worst year ever, I think, of my lifetime. So I'm quite looking forward to saying goodbye to 2020. It's not been a year that anyone really would look at and think it's been great. Too much has happened in a bad way. Unfortunately, I think it's with us for 2 months of 2021. What I'd like to think is maybe this time of year from today that we can all say, you know, we've been back to normal. We've had 6 months of feeling great about ourselves, and maybe we appreciate being normal again, because I think normality was taken for granted. I certainly won't take it for granted again. You know, just the strangest things you can and can't do. And as I said, but hopefully come this time next year, none of us are in a position where we at least can't go and see parents or can't go and see friends or, you know, speak to who we want to speak to. It's just not, it's not human. It's not a good thing for humans not to have contact with each other. So a bit deep, but that's the personal side of hoping everyone comes out of it well. From a football perspective, yeah, you know, my goal whilst I'm here is to get this club promoted. I might have to be here 10 years if I don't keep doing it, but you know, the goal is we work very, very hard here. You know, everything's done as professionally as we can afford to do it. And you know, I'd like the players to get the promotion, and I'd like to go to Wembley and win the trophy. Apart from that, I'm all right.
What a great way to end. Paul, Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
You too, Henry. Thank you.